Hi there. Today we're going to have a quick look at our part number 2090. Now this is a 6 watt clear LED candle with a small Edison screw base. Just open it up and take a quick look at it. Okay, it's made by a brand called Energizer. Now you might recognise the brand as being in batteries, but they've been in the lighting industry for quite some time now. And they've just been bringing out some fantastic LEDs, and these particular ones we're very pleased with. It's also available in a standard bayonet, a standard Edison screw and a small bayonet, but it's also available in a dimmable SES, which is a small Edison screw, and a dimmable bayonet. So it's classed as a 40 watts because it gives out 470 lumen, and as you can see, this particular one that we've got in is actually a Philips old style incandescent, and we're just going to make a comparison between the two. I haven't put the shade on because the LED clear candles, they probably look better in chandeliers or wall up lighters or anything which has kind of a bit of glass, a bit of metal, just to give that kind of crisp look and why it looks so good in these particular fittings. So I'll just turn that off and show you the LED. Just be careful when you take it out because the old style light bulbs, they do get very hot. So I'm just going to use a tablecloth to remove it. There we go. And in goes the LED. As you can see, it looks fantastic. It gives off probably actually a little bit more light than what the incandescent light bulb does. It's got a lens in there which kind of brings the light down underneath it. So this particular plastic bit, you don't have to worry too much about it being there because it does give light off down the bottom. So you don't, a lot of the other light bulbs which have these kind of fittings, the opal ones, a lot of the light is directed upwards, but because it's got this lens in, it does come down the bottom here. So I'm going to answer a couple of questions that some of our customers have raised with us over the course of the months. And one of them is, why is it rated at 15,000 hours? Because some of their old LEDs they picked up about 3 or 4 years ago were rated at 50,000, some at 30, some at 25,000. Now the reason why you choose this particular one at 15,000 hours is because the manufacturers now are bringing the lifespan down to push the chips that little bit harder, so you get that little bit extra energy saving. So no one's really producing these particular, well, the chips are rated at about 100,000 hours, but because of the way that the dissipation material, which in this case is thermoplastic, it doesn't quite kind of protect the chip as well as other types of material, but it does bring the cost down. So there's a bit of a trade-off between cost and lifespan, and at 50,000 hours, to be honest, this is running at 6 watts, so it probably will last a little bit longer. But in the scheme of things, 15,000 hours is just under 2 years if you run it 24 hours a day. So you probably get, if you're running it at a normal capacity, maybe 3-4 years lifespan out of it, and then by then you probably have a cheaper and better LED by then anyway, which you'd want to swap out in the first place. So why is it 6 watts in comparison to, say, other LEDs which are 5 watt, 4 watt and even 3 watt that claim to be a 40 watt equivalent? Well, this particular manufacturer has chosen 6 watt because if you run a chip less hard than what you need to, then the LEDs are more protected and they'll last a lot longer. So if you see a 3 watt or a 4 watt LED that's claiming to be a 40 watt, it means the manufacturer has chosen components inside to push the LED quite a bit harder to get that light output that's needed to be 40 watt, which as a matter of fact is this 470 lumen, which you might have heard being banded around, or it's plastered on the box and you think, oh, what does that 470 lumen mean? Well, the EU has decided a number of figures that in order for you to call a 40 watt or 60 watt light bulb, you have to have the amount of light, which is this lumen value, as 470. So the amount of light that's given off by this particular light bulb has to be 470 lumen in order for it to be called a 40 watt. In the 60 watt, it has to be 806 lumen. Another question is asked is why can't I find any 60 watt LEDs or 60 watt equivalent LEDs? Well, that's because these particular LEDs, they only have a small amount of space in order to dissipate the heat keep all the componentry in and the chips as well. And there's just not enough space to get rid of it. It's mainly a heat issue, but there's just not a lot of space in there to be able to house all of the electronic gubbins to be able to produce this particular LED light. So that's the reason. You won't find them anywhere at the moment. If there is a claim of a 60 watt LED, a 60 watt equivalent LED, it probably isn't right. And 40 watt is the best that you can get in terms of light output, life and quality. So why would you go for a clear and not an opal LED? Well, in this particular one, the clear one is better in chandeliers and wall lighters, like I said earlier, and that's because this clear glass, it doesn't diffuse the light, it sends the light output, and it'll make any sort of glass sparkle next to it. So that's why you'd go for the clear and not opal. And that's it. So let's just turn that off and take it out. So as you can see, it's just not hot at all. You can take that out. And here at LEDSmiths, we love these particular clear Energizer candles, and we hope you do too. So thank you for watching.